Check, check, and check. Can I get a break? What is going on? JT here in the studio. Studio 10-4 live from wherever you're at. I'm wherever I'm at and wherever you're at. We're getting together again for the Wednesday show. Got a great show ahead for you guys. First off, just want to say, look who's up there as a sponsor, man. We love Four State Trucks and Brian and the Chrome Shop Mafia guys. Great bunch of folks. And frankly, for a lot of the stuff that we're going to be talking about, man, I'll tell you what, they were kind of pioneering what we're going to be talking about today and how it all kind of came about with Dan, the man himself, Dan Linss, owner, creator, co-founder of 10-4 magazine, in the green room right now, probably sipping coffee out of his 10-4 official 10-4 mug. We'll say yes. But yeah, Four State guys, man, anything you guys need for your truck, if it is anything to make it cool, or in fact, they do just plain old truck parts out of there too. So go check them out, fourstatetrucks.com. Head up to Joplin, Missouri on your way here and there. And, tell them John and Dan sent you from 10-4 magazine. We'd appreciate that. Hope you guys have had a good weekend and had a chance to roll into the week. A lot going on out here in our country and out of our country. Been kind of watching the convoy across America, watched some of the video that was posted up in the group. Thanks, guys, for doing that. Appreciate it. It gave us a little insight to what's happening. The guys got in front of some people, some suits, and talked for an hour or so yesterday that I saw. A lot of good questions, certainly some answers, political correctness answers. But I think all in all, I mean, look, everybody gets it. Something needs to change. And from my understanding of it, those guys are doing loop-de-loops over there on the Beltway right now as I'm speaking, and have been since they got there. They're based out of Hagerstown, and they are running the Beltway every day, all day. They're not doing it to jam people up. They're not doing it to jam up the downtown. They're not doing it to, they're not doing the Canadian style. They're doing it American style, and I guess for good reasons. But and there's nothing wrong with what the guys up in Canada did. I'm just saying it didn't end well, and unfortunately, and that's another one that's still kind of going on and lingering somehow. So, look, we got a lot of power, guys. I appreciate you guys doing what you're doing. All I can say is I hope it ends the way you want it to, and will do the most good for everybody. So God bless you, and stay safe out there. Hopefully you guys by now have got your new copy of 10-4 magazine, being that it is the 9th of March. Definitely got mine. And next week will be our last show before Matt's, and hopefully we're going to have Ron Beer in studio. So guys, stay tuned for that. We'll get Ron in here. I'm going to kill that obnoxious alert noise so we don't have to listen to that through the whole show. Give me a second to knock that thing out of here. Man, I'll tell you what. Thought I had that fixed. Anyway, hopefully we'll have him in the show next week, and we'll get to talk about everything that went on with that truck and the cover and finding it and shoot and everything where it was and how come it looks so doggone good, because it does. It's a nice looking truck up there on the 10-4 magazine cover, as well as the cover on our Facebook page. So, all right. Well, obviously, big news around town is, of course, Matt's PKY. A lot going on there. We've talked about it last week. We're building it up. We're getting to that point where we're going to be one more show here in the studio and then out into the field, man, back into Louisville. So without wasting any more time, me talking your ears off, I'm going to bring our favorite editor, a man about town, Dan the Man. What is up, Dan?
How you guys doing? Your favorite editor?
Yeah, my only editor. Hey, look at that. We got first, take a second here and welcome everybody. I had the comments closed, but Gene's in the house. Gene Asuji, of course, co-founder, owner of 10-4 magazine. Todd Follier, good to have you here. Clay Snyder, Dave Cooper, Shannon Early Linz. Look at that. Shannon is in the house. She's in your house, right? Stephanie Haas, the diesel addict herself out there. Timothy Sieben. What's up, Siebes? Todd. Eric Villette, what's happening there, buddy? The Red Bluff Frenchie's truck show guy himself. And I'm probably missing a few other ones that are up there. Charles Hale, What is going on? Pete Henderson across the pond. I think I got everybody caught up. Glad to have you guys. Hey, do me a favor, guys, if you would take a minute and share the show on Facebook, or if you're in YouTube, um, go to Facebook and share it for us. Let's get this thing out there and get some people watching. We've got a pretty decent amount, that we do all right, but hell, let's bring a few more people to the party. So anyway, Dan, what's happening down there? You're at 10-4 Central, I call it.
Yeah. I was going to be there with you live, but just we're so busy, honestly, getting ready for Matt's and preparing I need to get the April edition to the printer before we leave for Matt's. So I've got that still ahead of me, and it just made a little more sense to, save $150 in fuel and just do it from here today.
Thank you, Joe Biden. Oh, I didn't say that, did I?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I don't know. All you people around the country are complaining in your 4s, and we're hitting the 6s here in California.
Yeah, and it's been there for a while already, 6s and beyond.
I just took a picture yesterday, and I'm not lying to you. I'm just diesel. If you buy it with credit at this Chevron I was at, $6.81.
Yeah,
for diesel.
That is painful. I forget who it was, but he posted up his load of fuel that he bought for the truck. $1,200 load of fuel.
Wow, that ought to get him through a day or two.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, and this, without us diving down this big old deep rabbit hole, I haven't gone shopping for a couple of weeks at the grocery store. I'm sure that I'm going to probably be getting, heart palpitations when I go to look at the grocery bill. Because
I'm not much of a shopper either, but I did do a little shopping this morning, and things are up there.
Things are up, right?
Yep.
I mean, there's just no two ways about it. So, oh, guys, what are we going to do? Well, anyway, we've got our own stuff that we can probably handle around here and wherever we go. But right now, I think that's out of our hands. And hopefully our guys in Washington right now that are doing something, trying to take notice, have the government take notice of what's going on with the truck convoy. Hopefully that does some good. I really do hope it does. So we'll see what happens. But so let's talk about Matt's and what's going on, but let's not just talk about Matt's. Let's talk about 10-4 and Matt's. Like, where did 10-4 get its teeth and get its roots in the Paul K. Young Truck Beauty Championship and the Mid-America Truck Show, Dan?
Well, our first year was we had sent some contributors there, Suzanne Stempinski and a few others back in the early 2000s, and did some reports. First year we went and had a booth, sort of, was 2003. So we're almost up to 20 years at Matt's. And we shared booth space with all of our friends at Double J, Jerry Jeffries and his wife, Gail. And oddly enough, his helper was a young man by the name of Jason Alt.
Yeah.
He was the one helping Jerry bring in his booth and tear it down, and had his pickup there hauling stuff. He helped us with some of our stuff, and he now, as of this year, is in charge of the PKY Young. He assisted Bud for a lot of years, and this year he's running it. So definitely nice to have a friend out there in the parking lot. Thank you, JC. But it's funny just how our Matt's connection goes as far back as day one for that. But here, I just dug this picture out. So here we are in the, well, not we, but there's Gene and Shannon in the Double J booth. That's their background, a big print up. And that was, awesome. So that was 03. We shared their booth with them. And this truck, by the way, which was Jerry's, red ink, he called it. Everything Jerry had was Viper red. That truck, of course, as well. So that 359 is now James Hodges' Bible truck, as I call it.
That truck right now is either doing laps on the Beltway or it's parked in Hagerstown, but it's one or the other. It's there, and it's part of the convoy. And incidentally, guys, if you want to check it out, I didn't watch the whole thing because I don't have 2 hours to give up right now, but he posted a 2-hour video in the 10-4 Magazine Lounge. So if you guys want to see what the convoy looked like, go check it out. Anyway.
James did that?
Yes, he did.
Cool.
Yes, he did.
So, I mean, we've been going there, and then the next year we got our own booth and have had obviously since. But we've seen a lot, done a lot. I mean, Matt's is a pretty pivotal thing in trucking. I mean, It's the beginning of the show season every year. It's where all the new builds that got done over the winter get debuted. It's where all the manufacturers debut their latest and greatest trucks, products, whatever. I mean, it's, it dwarfs every other trucking convention, and there aren't many trucking conventions left, indoor like this one. And I mean,
indoor and out. Yeah, it does both.
yeah,
So.
I mean, it's like, I think it's up to 1.2 million under roof, 1,000 vendors. I mean, the second biggest show would have been Dallas, and it would have fit in half of one of the rooms at Matt's.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, if people haven't done Matt's, put on your comfortable shoes and get your gold bond and get ready to do some walking.
And bring clothes that are good for sunny, hot, wet, cold, snowing, windy, whatever.
Absolutely. Bring a tank top and a parka.
You never know, man.
You just don't know.
You don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. So let's bump up a little bit here and bring everybody up to speed. This some great shots. And in case guys you don't know, I'm going to bring it up here right now. Let's get both of us in there. So this is going back to 2004, but I wanted you guys to know that anybody can do this. You can go to our archives. This is on our website. Let's go to 104magazine.com. Go to the archived articles, and then below that, archived articles by edition. And if you want to go back to 2002, there's the link to do it right there. And once you click on that, it'll bring up another list, and then you can choose where you want to go. But here we are, 2004. And we had some special beginnings kind of taking place here. And just for the record books, this was the first time I ever went to Louisville, Kentucky, period, let alone Mid-America Truck Shows. So Dan, take it away and tell us about who we're looking at here. And I think everybody knows this one, but go ahead.
Well, first off, yeah, that website is definitely outdated and archaic. So, but that's where all those archives are before 2012. So yeah, you get what you get. But there's a ton of pictures there at the top. It might even go back to the top. So it says click here for more photos. I mean, if you click there, I think there's, about 100 photos. So there are a lot of pictures there. But some of the ones you were looking at before, I mean, that you saw Pat Island's dump truck.
We're gonna go back to that, and then if we have more we want to bring out, I'll go to
there's a picture of the the wheel spinners, the picture above that. That was popular for about a day, and everybody was going crazy over the wheel spinners.
Man, I'll tell you what.
I'm glad that ended.
You know what? I'm glad it didn't end badly, because I had some real fear of those things letting go out on the road somewhere and cutting a car in half.
I've heard stories of people riding along and hanging out their car, taking pictures of trucks with them and crashing. The truck driver seeing the whole thing going to happen and just closing his eyes and looking away as the car, doesn't see the traffic in front of him stopping or something. And so they were kind of hazardous, as is all show worthy trucks, I suppose.
And I hate to say it, but he probably grabbed another gear and said, "Oh man."
Probably. But you got Pat Island's dump truck. I mean, that thing was, the Island family have, they've dominated Matt's for as long as I can remember. They still are. I mean, every year they bring something that's amazing. They contend for best of show, if not win best of show, 50% of the time. And, back in its day, I mean, this thing was all, I mean, it's a little bit, overdone and loud for today's standards, but back in 2004, I mean, this thing was the bee's knees. I mean, you were telling me, John, that this thing, really, being a dirt guy, this thing really had an effect on you.
Oh, huge. And here's what we're looking at. Up front, you got the double J blinker bars and the double J light brackets, which for me was probably some of the first times I ever saw that. But what you're not seeing, what we didn't get to see is the inside of this truck and what Pat did with this truck, man. There's stuff in there that had nothing to do with the truck, but Pat put it in a truck and applied it to the truck, because guess what? The chrome shops were pretty slim pickings back in these days, man. Yeah. And things were just kind of starting to take shape a little bit. But the stuff that he did, boy, what an inspiration. And there's more to come on this show that we're gonna lead up to. But and Pat, first time I met him back in the day was at this show, and we're still friends to this day. And look at him now, man. He got bored show trucking and sitting still because he's doing tractor pulls.
Yep, that's their thing. But I'm sure we'll see him at Matt's.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that There's that Big Shack Peter 359. That's Leonard and Charlene Testerman. I mean, they were big on the scene back then and for a lot of years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got Dino from Western Distributing out of Colorado there with his Kenworth. That was on our cover. It ended up on our cover. Dino, still good friends to this day. Don't talk to him as often as I used to, but, you know, had a good time traveling out there to shoot that truck, and back in about 05 probably.
What month and year did he make the cover with that truck?
That would have, I think that was an August cover. I want to say probably August 06. What year are we looking at? 4? Probably 04. August 04 probably.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, those are some really signature pictures too. I mean,
whoop, I don't want to give that
I
one
want
up
to say that you know, about the time, that's when we really started stepping up our photography and our locations, and we really started getting on the map. I really think that we turned it up about then, and we had our centerfold going by then, so we could really highlight, you know, our centerfold trucks and whatnot. But and then scroll a little bit more there. I saw something peeking out.
Yeah, there it is.
Probably one of the most influential trucks on the truck show scene, the 4-State Outlaw truck.
Yep.
I mean, when Brian brought that thing out, nobody knew what to think about it. I mean, it looked like it was primer, but it was actually painted that color, and everything was blacked out, and the headlights were down in the bumper, which some people liked, some people didn't. You know, he took his breathers out in the field and shot holes in them with a gun, and then just left the raw holes there. And I mean, just so many. You know, his rear fenders were like he like took stainless aluminum and actually ground them kind of rough, and kind of gave him a satin look instead of a shiny look.
Yeah, there was nothing polished. I mean, the bumper was as polished as you're going to find anything on that truck. Everything else was dulled out. Everything.
And you know, the honest truth is, I mean, the truck was a little ahead of its time, because not only did nobody know what to think about it, most people didn't like it. They just didn't know what they were looking at. And
yeah, they didn't.
I mean,
I can't tell you how many people, when I was over there checking this truck out, and this was another one that, after seeing Pat's truck and then walking around, and then I don't know when I ran into this one, was another one of those trucks. I just went, holy crap, this thing's badass, right? And I'm watching all these people, including the judges, sorry judges, but walk away shaking their heads going, what were those guys thinking?
I'm looking at the comments here, and Clay asked me if I could name all the cover trucks in order from the beginning. I would say an emphatic no on that, because there's like 3, I think the last count, what'd we say, John? 330, 335 maybe. I mean, if you show them to me, I can tell you a story about every one of them, but I couldn't remember off the top of my head. I'm not that good.
We'll have 10-4 trivia at some point, you know, with everybody, and we'll see if anybody can stump you, because, you know, they can go back in and look in the archives and pick something out, or maybe somebody has a moment they remember, but I'd love to see that. So we'll think about doing, you know, a little mind deal up there, and stump the editor a little bit there. Mr. Eric Hill just joined in. So Eric, good evening to you.
Hey, Eric. Yeah, the Outlaw truck obviously ended up on our cover later that year, and we invited Brian to bring it and have it in our booth at Las Vegas, which would have been, you know, a couple months after Matt's. And I think they ended up getting a booth right next to ours, because the Chrome Shop Mafia was just starting to be a thought.
Yep.
And so they sold some t-shirts, and they had the truck in the booth next, or maybe it was in our booth, I can't remember. But and then we hung out with Brian and his mom Linda the whole week, and went out to dinner every night with them, and did the photo shoot after the show, and out in the desert there at an abandoned hotel that they knocked down. They bulldozed it about 6 months later, so it was perfect timing, and just really set the tone for our relationship right from the beginning. And that was when, you know, Chrome Shop Mafia was just, it wasn't even a show yet. He was just thinking about having a website and like a club. And so obviously that took off quickly and grew to what it is today, and what it became, and which definitely put the truck show world on edge for sure.
It brought to light the fact that there's so much you can do with these trucks, and so much that nobody's done yet. And they started out doing it, of course, along with help me out here, the brothers they're down in Arizona now.
Pickett.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at that Outlaw truck. I mean, the trucks at the time were, murals and a
Oh
lot
yeah.
of on stuff. And I mean, customization was pretty rare back then. And
Yeah.
if it was pretty raw. So I mean, this thing was like, what the heck is this guy trying to do here? I mean, you can
Well,
look
I
at
mean,
some of the other, yeah, exactly.
and
Exactly.
the only thing missing there is the carpet and the glitter and the stanchions out front and all that, which was what guys were doing, right?
Yep. Yeah. And they probably will do it again.
Well, life in the world is cyclical, so might
Yep.
as well come back,
But
and
that's a perfect example of what the two trucks, what was really kind of popular of the day, because that one won a bunch of awards that year, and
yeah,
Brian's did not.
yeah, yeah,
But look, but all these years later, we're still talking about the Outlaw truck,
no doubt. Hey, Chad Violet in the house. Good to have you, Chad. Daniel Lee
Yeah.
Anderson there. But yeah, thanks for joining in, guys. I appreciate it. Well, things have changed, less became more. And I think that, well, not yet, not quite yet, but here, let's have a look at a couple of these because,
Well,
and
that was Phil Langevin. I mean, come on. I mean, he didn't put anything on that thing. He just polished it.
yeah, exactly. And here's the thing. Now, we all know that's a polished truck, and a lot of people go, "Well, look at that. They chromed a truck," and no, they did not. but okay.
I guess you could.
I guess you could. So, but here you go. There it is. Right there. That is what I remember of the early 2000s in the truck show scene, man. You get the carpet down on the ground, you get some glitter all around and flowers and stanchions. And I mean, you look at the decorated, the paint on that thing. I mean, look, beautiful truck. I'm not knocking it at all. I'm just saying what we've done now from where we came from is certainly changed.
Styles definitely evolve. But, again, like you said, everything old is new again. And, some of that older stuff is making a comeback, even though it's a little bit cleaner, a little simpler.
And then there's that spread end dump that Pat built. And I remember that truck. I loved it, man. It was a big spread Mac elliptical end dump. And underneath on the bottom, it had cut out and lit up. It said spread them. But and this truck went to a whole nother level again of out of the mind to island. How did we get to this point? The guy, I don't know where, he got his thoughts and ideas, probably along the way at some hot rod show somewhere or something. But the whole inside of that truck floor was all painted. Dash was painted.
Everything had that spade theme. He had spades cut steps and different, all kinds of different spades all over it.
Oh, it went crazy. By the way, got to take a sip of my coffee out of my 10-4 mug.
Oh, is it coffee time?
Mm-hmm. That's how we keep going here in the studio. Pat Island, man. I can't wait to see Pat and the family. In fact, they're probably going to be pulling Saturday night, I would imagine.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, there's a picture of, so you went to another year. This was a little farther, 2007 maybe?
Did I? I think we jumped ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
So they have that. I mean, the crowds, that's Brian and what's that, CB Grimes, and I don't know who's on the right there. Maybe the painter, Rhino, maybe, or maybe it's Pickett. But yeah, it was just crazy that year. There's Rhino on the left, or anyway. But yeah, they were everywhere they went was crazy.
I'll tell you, around this time, I was looking for some pictures of the gals yesterday to post up for our International Women's Day, and I ran into some old pictures from our truck show, Trucking for Kids, and there were Picketts, both of them sitting there signing autographs. So this, all around this same time, I'm sure that
was just a few years. That was like 4 or 5 years ago. That wasn't that long ago.
No kidding.
Yeah. Yep. And they were, just as popular then as they were back then, in some ways.
Well, they're still doing it. Now, here we go. Who can name this truck? Anybody? Before we say it? Anybody? Ryan Templeton was the painter, Chad Violet says. Dennis Mitchell, how you doing, buddy? Franker Love, Charles Hale, hello, handsome. What?
Hey, Dennis. Victor.
I think we've been infiltrated.
Victor knows all about all this old stuff. He's an old show hand as well.
Yeah. How you doing, Victor? Good to have you here on the show, buddy. I think we got infiltrated by a I don't know what are we going to call these gals that come in here and spam like that. Well, I don't know.
There's a name for him.
Yeah, I think there is.
Santa says it.
We're gonna hey Franker, what is that? What is that all about? Tell us all about it. And Charles, if you're talking on the side to Franker, you be sure and let us know about that. So tell us about this truck, because this one is a beauty, and still to this day, I think this truck's relevant.
There, absolutely. I mean, anybody worth their salt in the truck show world better know the name of this truck, because this truck was another game changer. Sledgehammer, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Chad called it out.
Yep. And he won the build off, I believe, in 06. You know, they had the big rig build off there at Matt's for many years, where builders just went toe to toe, and that was pretty awesome. You know, when they did that for about 4 years, and it'd be nice if they maybe tried to bring that back. You know, people are starting to build trucks again and break the mold and do different things. And
I think we're ready.
Adrian stuffed a V12 Detroit under that thing, and
yeah,
which is hence the name Sledgehammer. That's another one that ended up on our cover. Shot it about 6 months later after the Dallas truck show. He's from Texas, so another one back at the Lindemood Yard, our photo shoot location in Dallas.
Yep.
But yeah, Adrian's a cool guy, and he was always ahead of his time as well. I mean, look at all those clean lines and all those filler panels all lined up and smooth, and of course laying on the ground. And I mean, you know, it's commonplace today, but at that time it wasn't so common. You know, even cool trucks weren't sitting on the ground like that.
And it was a head shaker. Some people didn't get it. In fact, I mean, listen, the truth be told, I have comments sometimes on some of these trucks that we share in our social media, and guys are like, I don't get it. And you know what, guys, that's okay. If you know what, ask and we'll explain, because there's a lot of reasons why this happens. I posted up our pictures from yesterday, and you know, some of the comments over here on Facebook, reeling it back in here, from Clint's Cool Creations. You know, those are 2 California hay haulers, and these guys, that's what these guys do out here, man. And one of the comments was, you know, how can that be a real truck? Well, it hauls 80 gross. It's a real truck. So
full and doubles,
man. So, you know, guys, it's another way to do it, man. I'll tell you. You know, sometimes it's a little tough keeping tires on the rear, but hey.
Well, Chad says that Adrian's going to be bringing out Sledgehammer to a show, an undisclosed show at this time. So,
all right,
looking forward to, hopefully it'll be one we're at. I haven't seen Adrian in a while.
Well, Chad must have the insight. He'd better give us a call and give us a heads up. What do you think?
He could do that. Well, we're going to see him here soon enough, I'm sure.
We'll see you in Louisville, Chad.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yep. All right. So who else we got in here? I think that's there's
that's Testerman again. Yeah.
Yep, Testerman again. Now, weren't they parked inside? Was it the last Dallas show or the last Matt's show?
No, that was Matt's. Yeah. Well, so Leonard had a pretty tragic shop accident and died about 6 or 7 years ago. And his wife, Charlene, they were a team. She kind of brought it out of storage and brought it out to Matt's last time they had a show. I don't even remember. Was it 19?
19, yeah.
Had it parked inside there. And yeah, so a lot of people got to see it. And yep. I mean, that thing was the epitome of show truck for many years. And that was an everyday work truck that they, you know, lived in and worked in. And,
yep.
You know, like you said, Holland's, you know,
airplane motors.
Yep. So
Eldorado.
Yep, exactly. That's another one. Sure. Tom and Kim Turner.
Yep. That truck hauled nothing but airplane engines, and it had, I don't know how many million miles on that thing, but it was always ready to sit in the show.
Typically when you see those big shacks back in the day, that's what they hauled, because there's no weight to them, so they could get away with it.
Yeah.
Or they hauled government loads, and they needed to be self-sufficient for, you know, days at a time, because who knows where the government was going to send them.
Well, let's jump ahead here, and we're going to jump out of Matt's, even though this truck was there. we're gonna feature it here, showing it as it was at the cover shoot that Dan did for it. And this is Jeff Patello's build, hot rod convertible Peterbilt. That again was another head shaker. People going, what? That, and I can't tell you again how many people. What did he do to that truck? Well, he built a hot rod. That's what he did, guys.
Yep. Scroll to the chassis picture. I mean, that's the most impressive one, is it there? That one. I mean, this thing was pretty, hydraulics all around, metal braided hoses front to back. I mean, everything chrome plated or polished. So he brought that truck out to the build off in, I don't know what, 07. And he had not finished the paint. In typical Jeff Patello fashion, he was not quite done with it. And so he brought it out. He did not win the build off that year. Had he had it painted, I think he would have. So he brought that truck home, and we shot it about a month later. And I'm not going to lie, he painted it in his shop the night before the photo shoot. And he was supposed to meet me at the bottom of my road here near my house at 8 a.m. And he did not get there till about 11:30 because he was waiting for the paint to cure enough that he could put it on the lowboy to bring it down. And I mean, it was not sanded. It was not clear coated. Those stripes had just been laid down, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, 11 hours sooner. And here we are, we're out. This is my neighbor's property. And here we are out. He was getting a little irritated because he was driving through cow turds. We had to pick him out of the treads for some of those pictures. But I think that if he had it completely painted with that scheme and whatnot, he probably would have done better. But because he was kind of incomplete at the build off, he didn't, quite do as well as he would have liked. But, again, like you said, that truck was like, it was a head scratcher. It was a head turner, just taking fabrication, another level.
Hey, Chad, are you saying that Jeff sold Pat that truck?
That is absolutely, well, not Pat, but the Island family, Tom.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. If you get their Christmas card every year, like I do, but I'm not dropping any names. That truck is got Santa Claus in it and waving it out in the snow, among other trucks. But
I think that tells you all you need to know about what a show truck is, right there, buddy.
Yep. And now, so they have an amazing, I'm telling you, we could do a show on the Island warehouse.
Oh yeah.
We absolutely could. It is phenomenal. And you would not believe the NASCAR, the automotive, and the trucking memorabilia that they have in their shop. And it's been 2008 since I've been there. They didn't even have this at that time. I can only imagine what it looks like now. So really cool stuff. But yep. So Jeff eventually sold it a year or two later to Tom, and there you go. You still got it. Looks just like that still.
There's some cow pie in that tread.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well.
You're not wrong. Not wrong.
And Jeff. And Jeff, I hope you're watching, buddy. We love you, man.
No, that was fun. Yeah, I can see where we shot that truck from the balcony upstairs. I can look down right about where we shot that. So, yep. About this time of year too, so we're looking like just about like that here in another month. So.
Yeah, it was just 2 weeks ago. You were 8 inches down in snow, right?
Yes, we do. That was a pretty phenomenal amount, most we've ever had in 17 years. But yes, 8 inches fell. That's a lot for us here in Central California.
Billy Joe, how you doing, buddy? Good to have you on the show. Kevin, nice to have you on board. All you guys jumping in. Dennis Mitchell, of course, jumped in, contributor to 10-4 magazine. Dennis, good to have you on board.
Kevin, if he's the Kevin I think he is, has a beautiful K100 cab over.
And that is Kevin. Yeah, Kevin, what's happening?
Rose colored. Yep.
Got it there for his picture. Oh,
oof. Okay.
How did I get to that?
We're kind of going through the mats, head turning trucks. I mean, go back to that one. I mean, that was obviously First Class Services, Randy Stroop. He won the 4th build off with that 359, and 12 gauge helped him build that. And that's kind of what put 12 gauge on the map. And to this day, they're still crushing it,
Yeah.
So that truck was phenomenal, top to bottom, front to back. I mean, Randy doesn't skimp on nothing. And that thing, if the bar could continue to go up, it continued to go up when that truck came out for sure. Look, my shirt matches it. I match him today.
You know, you do there, buddy. That was a good plan. How did we pull that off?
I meant to do that. But yeah, that thing was just amazing. Amazing. I don't know how else to describe it. How anybody could not love that truck. There's something wrong with them.
Well, I mean, it's a 359 for one, but you know what it reminds me of is that red 359 back in 19 that was at Matt's that just blew everybody away.
Oh,
The
the plain red
Canadian,
one with
the Canadian, yeah,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah, beautiful truck, man, beautiful truck. But yeah, it took something like this right here to get to that point where guys were doing stuff like that, and I mean, details, guys. You know, JC spelled it out to you guys. Anybody questioning, you know, what's it take to win a truck show? Well, it's all in the details, man. There's
So we
the
got
big picture.
got a few newcomers over here. We got Dave Sweetman. He's featured this month in our magazine. Kim, John and Kim did a feature on him. He's a legend in his own mind. Or I mean, Dave's awesome. Great
Dave,
story
how you
on
doing?
him. We're looking forward to seeing him at Matt's as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Dave. Mike, thanks for jumping in. Mike Steffers, and of course Kim Jakes. Hello, Kim. How are you? Good to have. Kim's a contributor, one of the longer contributors to 10-4 magazine. So glad to have you on board.
20 years for her. Yep.
Yeah, congratulations on that. All right, we got a couple more in here that we'll go and get, you know.
Another island truck.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wonder whose truck that is.
Yep.
Oh, and we don't even have a picture, I don't think, of Jake's, right? The one
Yeah, that was later. That was just like the last show.
Yeah.
The one that they rebuilt.
Beautiful truck, either way. I mean, here you go again. You know, this is, you know, you don't see too many trucks like that anymore. And that truck, I mean, that's got the double J blinker bars on it, but I can't even see where are the headlights on it. Did he have headlights on it?
I think they're buried in the blinker bars.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's ahead of that time, buddy. I don't think
he
so.
He had a shotgun for a shifter too. Double barrel shotgun.
Mm-hmm. I think there might be something in the fenders right here, Dan. I don't know, but I can't make it out. But yeah, that's interesting. You just don't see that. That's not what's out there that much anymore. And kind of here's another one there.
That is Bob and Shelley Brinker, and then you know, to each their own. Some people liked it, some people didn't. But great super people, and you know, they tore up the show scene for many years. And,
I'm not going to lie. There was trucks out there that when I was judging and, you know, working with Bud and Stars and Stripes and different shows out there, the guys brought in and look, I give everybody credit for doing what they love, because that's what it's all about, man. Build what you love, build what you like, you know, and if somebody else likes it, big time win, right? But there was trucks, there was certain ones that I'm not going to name any names, but Dan, I bet you could, our minds, you know, probably there's one, I'll just say this, yellow Freightliner.
Wow, gee, really hide your thoughts there, John.
Yeah, well, you know, anyway, what can I tell you? You know, there was just some of them I did not dig. Right. And there was, you know, you write your notes on the sheets of, you know, what it is you think that was a turn off, or what do you think they could have done better? And, you know, sometimes there was stuff that was fabricated and it just wasn't done complete. It wasn't all the way there, you know? And when you're judging a truck and it's a point or two that separates, you know, a winner and not a winner. Oh, Victor, you had to go there. Oh, well, I kind of gave it up, didn't I? You know, it's a point or two that separates whether you win or don't win. That means a lot. And that's how close some of these trucks are when you get to this point. And I'm going back to Vegas when I was judging the show in Vegas, and it was like that, you know, and I would not want to be judging in Louisville. I really wouldn't. You really got to have some thick skin and blinders on, man. You really do.
It's got to be all about the numbers.
Yeah. Bottom line, got to be. Yeah, absolutely got to be. So I want to go back for a minute here, 2017, and just as another Matt's reference, what would we be in? Probably May of
Yep.
17. There it is. Yeah, Ethan Young. Perfect.
Probably.
So this was my first encounter as part of Team 10-4, working with you and Eric. This was my first time out on the circuit with a photo shoot, and there it is, Ethan Young. And we talked about this. I mean, it wasn't like it was this just all original different truck, but damn, what a nice truck, and obviously placed very well at the show and got on the cover. So
He had a lot of custom stuff on that.
he
He
did.
really did. He really did. And that was a few years ago. Arrows were still kind of getting figured out. They're still getting figured out, but
Yep.
that was one of the early, really cool ones. Clay Snyder, you still here? He'd be another one because Arrow done right, brother?
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, Clay
Of
saying
course, he likes Ethan's ride. And Ethan's a
and,
cool cat, nice young guy, and
and very, very patriotic young man. Now, this is the last truck that was shot right here, right in that stadium, right?
yeah, that if that was 17, I don't think we've been in there since. Yeah.
Well, it's gone now, so
Yep. That's the old baseball stadium there in the parking lot. And
yeah, as those of us that were in the last show at Matt's 19 remember, they were tearing the damn thing down while we were there.
well, it was half tore down when we were in there for that, if I remember right.
Yeah,
It looked pretty back there, but it was pretty bad.
it was not as pretty as that picture tells the story. No, not
Yeah,
at all,
no.
man. So, but what a great truck, what a great experience. And so, and this wasn't the first truck that was shot there by you guys. So tell us a little bit about that too. How does it always end up? Not always, but how does it work out? You end up doing a photo shoot at Matt's, right?
Well, we try. Matt's has gotten to be such a monster in itself. There's been some years either the weather doesn't behave or we just say no thanks. We'll make plans for later. There's a lot of media there. There's a lot of magazines there. There's magazines from other countries. Everybody's kind of clamoring for the same handful of trucks, and
Oh yeah.
So sometimes we get something done. Not always. This time we did. We did Scott Diller's Red Dawn back in 2014, I think. No, 2011. And we shot that one completely in the stadium. It was in a little bit better shape then, and we were there in the day, so you could see it. But
what month did he end up on the cover?
13, 11. Well, it would have been at probably May 13, May 11. So it'll be on the old site. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So, I mean, that's of course, I'm not going to lie. There's some Photoshop to make that green a little bit cleaner because we were out there picking
Great
up
secrets,
trash
buddy.
because that's like AstroTurf. It's, that fake, golf course green. And yeah, it was definitely messy. There was a little bit of cleanup work to do, but we caught a UPS jet coming in there to the airport right down the street. But yeah, that was a very cool truck, and had a great day out there with Scott and Larry, and so many people we had relationships, and Larry passed away this just a few months ago, and that was just Scott's dad, and another tragedy, and so many people that we've talked about. Some of them are gone, and
yeah. Well, it's hard. It's a hard life, man. And I tell you, I mean, not that it always ends up being because of, us out there breaking our butts to do the job. And look, that goes for us here at the magazine too. I mean, we're not out there grabbing gears and slamming diesel, but we work our butts off, man. And it takes a lot to get to where we got to go and do what we got to do. And Dan, you're one of the hardest working guys behind a camera I've ever seen. So
well, thanks.
it is not easy, and it takes skills, man. It takes skills, but you try to work smarter, not harder, but it just it is what it is. So But it's a hard life. You know, the guys are out there. It is a life. It's not a job you punch in and
I
you're
think I
done
have
at
a
5.
picture of Larry in that shoot, don't I?
You do.
No, that's Scott.
Oh,
He.
no, no, no,
Oh, I
nope,
guess I didn't. Okay,
nope.
I don't. Yeah, I had
You
it
know
from.
what? You sent me one
Yeah, yeah.
when he passed. Yeah, you
He
did.
was out there helping us pick up trash.
You know,
He and his mom. He and his mom, Juanita. Juanita. Yeah.
let
But
me see.
anywho,
So that was May 11, right?
yep, yep.
Let me see if I have that one here. I probably do.
Yeah, I mentioned how the weather doesn't always cooperate at Matt's either. So in 2013, we shot Chad Blackwell's uh, Peterbilt with a bull rack.
There
Yep,
you
there you
go.
go. There's Larry. Yep, yep. Good shot. But
Very nice.
it was raining the day after the show on Sunday, and we were supposed to shoot Chad, and we just kind of made an executive decision that we were going to shoot it in the rain. It was something we had never done, and we did it. And it didn't rain the whole time, but a lot of the time I was under an umbrella. Our friend Troy Miller, who's still floating around out there out of Colorado, he
Yes,
happened to
he
be there.
is.
He held the umbrella for me while I was shooting. So
Speaking of Troy Miller,
yep,
what?
yep, yep.
Right there, boys and girls. Look at that truck, man. Sweet, huh?
Yep, that's his feature this month. He
Yes,
hasn't
it
had too
is.
many features lately, but he's coming back out of the woodwork, and he's got another great one coming this month as well.
Guys, check that out over in the 10-4 Magazine Lounge group. If you're not a member of that, be sure and get over there and get on in. I'm not going to lie, I got to weed out a lot of weirdos, but it's a private group, so you're safe in there for the most part. And it's hard for me sometimes because I end up having to go through and see if I'm going to let people in or not based on did they answer the questions. Number one question that should be answered, I will follow the rules, and doesn't get answered is that happens all the time. And it's just all these other, yeah, I'll follow the rules. Yes, please let me in this helpful group and blah, blah, blah. And it's like the same guys asking with 50 different profiles in a week or something. But I weed them out, and we try to get some good ones in there. And incidentally, this is a lot of these posts from the guys up in Canada, and the posts from the guys on the convoy right now. This is a Canada deal here. Gary Jones out there getting all creative. I think he's got California envy, Dan. Dan, what do you think?
Palm tree envy.
What's going on there, Gary? And he's hauling that big old reefer spread. Look at that, man.
Right, that's kind of different.
That's
You
what
see, you see Kim's comment over here. She said she saw she met Ethan the other day in Wisconsin.
I did see that. Yeah,
that's cool.
I did see that. Yeah, this was probably shot while Gary was loading, and yeah, so there you go, California EB2 catching some Z's in that California breeze. Right on, Gary. Good job, buddy. Anyway, guys, get over there and check that out. So, let's get back over here on point. Yeah, weeding out the group is sometimes a little bit of a chore, but we get it done. It's just crazy. Oh my gosh. What else we got on the mats, on the memorable mats covers? Let's go with one more. You got one more in there? I think we've covered more than we thought we were going to kind of cover at this point. Let's talk about the Wall of Fame. Okay. What's going on there? Because JC and I tried to touch on that last week. None of us really know what's going on with that. We know it's happening. It's real. We don't know how it's going to be presented and all that. So you did some work and sent in some info, and what's happening with that?
Well, I'm probably about as out of the loop as you are on that one. That's a Matt's deal. I did send them. They asked for some specific things for Eric, and I sent them and some other things as well. So I definitely have a feeling he'll make he'll show up somewhere on that wall at some point. And I don't know if it's a physical wall, if it's a digital wall. I don't know how this wall works. If it's just on our computers, if it's going to be literally on the wall at Matt's, I don't know. But I have a feeling he'll be as big as anybody else on it. and as should be. I mean, I think we've made a contribution to trucking and the fun side. I mean, we've really made it our life's mission to prove that trucking can be fun. It's always been one of our monikers, and so yeah, I mean, somebody's got to go out there and show the fun stuff, right?
Absolutely. And you know what? I mean, look, there, you talk about Mats and you talk about Paul K. Young, literally Paul K. Young. This is the latest post from the Mid-American Trucking Show and the Wall of Fame nominee. And this is where it gets kind of muddy for me is everybody's a nominee. Does that mean that they're making it to the wall and they're nominated and we're going to pick a few or one or I don't know. Anyway, but you can look and there's Eric right there smiling. I think everybody that they say is a nominee is going to wind up on this year's induction and on the wall. And that's kind of how it's going to go because a lot of great names. I mean, I can't see them all being competing for a spot or two or three or whatever. I think that they all get to go, but there's Paul K. Young right there. He's the latest one. So anybody out there sees Eric, give me a note, drop me a line. Let me know that
Paul is, Toby runs the Matt show. Toby Young runs the Matt show. Paul is his grandfather. He's the one that started Matt's. That's where the PKY Truck Beauty Championships, it's kind of in his honor.
Looks like a trucker to me. He's wearing the suspenders and just a normal everyday guy.
Farmer, I don't know, right?
Yeah, farmer, trucker, but yeah. Well, and what I was saying too on that split, you kind of have the Mid-America Truck Show, which is more of the compulsory side of this thing. It's inside. All the manufacturers are in there. All the retailers, chrome shop guys, shirt guys, hat guys, this guy, that guy, you name it, product can be bolted on, welded on, stuck on, glued on, whatever, a truck. Those are all the guys that are inside. And then the Paul K. Young Truck Beauty Championship, they're all outside competing and no idea how big it's going to be this year. JC kind of alluded to maybe it could be as big as 200 trucks, could be more. But now that stadium's gone, they got room. So we'll see what happens. That's yet to be seen. So
yeah, John Jakes mentioned the snow. He said in 2017, but it was 2018. But yeah, that was definitely a Matt's first, at least for me, after 20 years.
Yeah.
For them to get, 7-8 inches of snow the day before the show starts.
Yeah. We get on the ground. I got some great video of us sitting in the car, driving around, looking at the snow. What do we do now?
I mean, these guys got parked, staged, cleaned, and then snowed on.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. Yep. So, and this upcoming Matt's PKY, Wednesday will be our first day at the show. We're going to be getting the booth set up. I know this is, ahead of you guys, all the attendees that are going to be coming in and the general public, but those of us that are working the show and showing at the show, Wednesday is going to be brought to you by Four State Trucks. We're going to be out there in the parking lot, checking in on guys, seeing what they're doing before rags down, getting trucks ready. Maybe some of them are further along than others because apparently there's going to be a rags down on Wednesday and Thursday, depending on what classes we're talking about. So Brian and I from Four State Trucks, Brian Martin, we're going to take a little drive out there, probably about 11:30, 12 o'clock on Wednesday, cruise around, walk around, however we're going to get around. We haven't figured that out yet. But part of it will be the 10-4 mobile live stream cart. Carl will be involved, and Brian and I out there checking on guys, seeing what's going on. And then we'll do one more live stream on Wednesday and go out there and see what it looks like in the afternoon before we shut her down and then open the show on Thursday. Incidentally, we'll be opening Thursday with Four States from inside Matt's. So you're going to get to see all of what's going on indoors and out both days. So tune in 10-4 magazine on our Facebook page. We will have all of the action from Matt's and Paul K. Young.
Well, I just got a notification this morning that our 2 pallets have been picked up. So our magazines and posters and swag and shirts, and it's Carl, on board and it's getting ready to roll. So
Carl's in transit.
That's right. Carl the cart.
Carl the cart is in transit. So
along with a whole bunch of other stuff.
Oh my gosh, 2 pallets, man. I mean, so here's the deal.
stuffed to the brim. Somehow we got them Jenga'd into 2 pallets, and
let's hope that when we come back, it's 1 pallet, right?
half of one.
Half of a pallet. Okay,
Half
all right.
of one.
I'm all for that.
Yep.
All right, Dan, I think we pretty much nailed it, man. We got a lot of ground covered, a lot of good stuff going to be happening. Obviously, once we're there, which will be 2 weeks from now in Louisville, everybody's got to come by the booth. Everybody's got to say hi. You see us out there walking around. Hey, guys, you know what? Know this. I might be live streaming. I might be doing whatever. Dan's going to be taking pictures. I will say this much, and this I'll do for Dan's behalf. If he's taking pictures Thursday night of trucks, let him take pictures Thursday night of trucks and then say howdy, because it gets crazy, man. There's only one of him, and there's a lot of trucks out there. But don't hesitate to say hi and give us a howdy and introduce yourself. We want to meet everybody. We love you guys, and we want to make sure that you feel as welcome as we want you to feel, and that's a whole bunch. We really appreciate you guys. This is what we do. We do this for you. It's all about you guys. So come on by.
Say hello to my gawk blockers.
Yeah, there you go. That's right, man. Get everybody kind of stretched out. Stay back. Because typically you're going to see him. Dan will have that tripod down on the ground, real low, and he's kind of on one knee, kind of looking up at the angle there, shooting that truck. Man, that's a popular position. So. Yeah, guys, look for Dan, and the light show is going to be 8:00 or so on Thursday night. We'll be out there live streaming that too. That'll be brought to you by Minimizer, longtime Team 10-4 marketing partner, bringing you all that action on Thursday night. That's a special live stream. We may do 2 streams on that and break it up a little bit. We'll see how it all plays out. But be sure and come over, see us in the North Wing. That's where we're going to be at. That's where Dan and Shan and Tim and April and Eric Hill will all be hanging out. JT and me, I will be out and about bringing you all the sights and sounds from Louisville, Kentucky. So hopefully this thing works out where we get as much as we want to do in on that show. Saturday is going to be a big day, man. That's the awards day. It's the last day of the show. Hopefully the truck parade. We don't know. There's supposed to be an announcement on that too, because it's overlapping with the tractor pulls, so they may do something different. We don't know that yet. So keep yourselves informed by going to the Mid-America Trucking Show Facebook page and as well to their website. They may update it over there. And I'm going to have my one last drink of coffee here in my mug. There we go. Thank you. 10-4 official 10-4 mug.
Not available in stores.
Limited edition, right? Limited edition. Yeah, absolutely. So want to thank everybody for tuning in. You guys are freaking awesome. Billy Joe Burrell, what have you been doing, buddy? I haven't seen any food. I did see something you did the other day. It looked pretty good though, Dan. Billy Joe's got some good food going on out there.
Here's a spoiler. Apparently I'm putting a brisket on the smoker tomorrow. So
oh man.
I'd say I'd share it, but I'm not on social media anymore, so can't do it.
Yeah, well, and listen, guys, we did this show like this today with Dan down at Studio Central and me up here in my place. But April, look to have Dan back in the studio here at 10-4 North. We will try to get that done. We've had a little bit of some technical issues, and between our app, which is StreamYard, and with Dell, hopefully we got them all worked out so that everybody plays nice with each other. Because those of you that watched last month with Dan, the audio kind of just cut out. So we didn't want to go through that again today. And the way to avoid doing that is just do a single camera production here with us each at our own location. And the fact that gas is freaking $7 a gallon too is another one that makes you kind of go, what are we thinking? But it is what it is.
Despite that, we'll make it happen next month.
Next month, look for us to have Dan back here at Studio 10-4 North. All right, Dan, good to talk. Always good to see you, my friend. You know that. We're going to be getting back together here real soon. We just saw each other the other day, which doesn't happen too often, certainly not often enough. But we'll be meeting in Dallas to fly to Louisville. That'll be our central locating point for all of us at Team 10-4, except for Eric and Stephanie, I think, and Eric really, because Stephanie's going to be busy doing Stephanie stuff at Matt's, I believe. But Tim and April and Dan and Shan and myself will all meet in Dallas and fly from there to Louisville.
Yep.
So can't wait to do that. Dark 30, out of Sacramento.
Thanks to everyone who joined us. We had quite a good group here today. I'm looking at, and I see all the comments, and hi to everyone who said hi, and hopefully we'll see y'all soon at Matt's. It's going to be amazing. Their 50th anniversary. I know we've been waiting 2-3 years for it. We're all in. I know some people are wondering, what's it going to be like? Well, who knows? We don't know, but we're all in, and it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be freaking awesome. And I hope those guys from West Virginia that had moonshine last time show up again, by golly.
I don't know. I don't know.
You guys from West Virginia, if you're hearing us out here, buddy, yeah, that
know
was
who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are. That was a hell of a fun surprise, considering it was over, the show was done, we're packing it up, and these guys come walking by. I got one more Matt story. With bottles, multiple bottles of Gatorade, right? Shannon says, no. And this stuff was moonshine, man. And it was Gatorade flavored, and it was freaking incredible. Anyway, it sure made our last day in Louisville.
It was too good.
Yeah, it was too good. So you never know what's going to happen.
It was good, but it still wasn't as good as our buddy Mike Manuel. He makes the choice stuff.
Mike, we hope to be seeing you, buddy. Yeah,
highly recommend or do not recommend, depending on your demeanor, his lemonade.
Yeah, you know what? I've got a bottle here. I've shared that with a few choice people, and they're like, how come it doesn't like burn, and just how come it's not all just really strong and nasty? And they're like, take that away from me.
A little too good.
It's a little too easy and a little too good. So, all right, Dan, well, listen, can't wait to see you in Dallas. And of course, we'll be chatting along the way between now and then. Say howdy to everybody out there. Thanks, guys, for joining in. Miss Jean Osuji, love you. Thank you for jumping in. See, it's easy when you're retired 95% or so. What is that, right? Isn't that what we said? 98% retired. You can tune into the show and watch us. Eric, Shannon, everybody else. Don Wood jumped in here right there at the end. Good to have you, Don. Thanks for jumping in. All you cover truck guys, if you want me to come to your truck in Louisville, let me know, because I want to come to you and I want to do a walk around, and we want to talk about your truck and when you're on the cover of 10-4, and let everybody see how great you're looking now, because I know some of you have made some upgrades, and we want to certainly feature that to you. Until next week, and next week we will have Ron Beer, our current cover truck, in studio with us, and
I will say Ron will be at Matt's. In fact, our pallets are in his trailer as we speak, if not in his warehouse. So he is the one bringing them, and Ron is a cool cat, and he's gonna do well and have fun out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So look forward to it. Keep the shiny side up, everybody. JT, for Dan, myself, and the rest of Team 10-4 who've joined us out here today, and those who'll be watching later when they get a chance. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being the best part of 10-4. We do it all for you. Share the video, please, you guys. Share it out there. Make sure you've liked and followed our page, and invite others to do the same. That's how we kind of help keep the lights on. So I appreciate you guys a lot. Thanks. We'll see you next week.